Series, Wargames 2025, why Liv Morgan returned, bad news for Jey Uso following his SmackDown win, the WWE pushed into a corner after John Cena's Survivor Series loss, Bron Breaker's huge injury scare, Triple H confirms claims of backstage politics and lobbying before Wargames, Roman Reigns' future plans revealed, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar cause sudden audio malfunction. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE Survivor Series, Wargames 2025. WWE Survivor Series, Wargames 2025 delivered one of the most chaotic nights of the year, packed with twists, surprises, and moments that instantly reshaped storylines across Raw, SmackDown, and the upcoming year. From title changes to a surprising return, the event kept the crowd on the edge of their seats right from the beginning of the show. While the show ended up being phenomenal, there were some moments that fans didn't like, while some that they have not been able to stop talking about as well. Let's check out the best and worst moments from the PLE. Number 1. The best. Dominic Mysterio is WWE Intercontinental Champion again. Dominic Mysterio walking out as Intercontinental Champion stood out as one of the night's biggest wins. After months of character rebuilding, the Star's feud with John Cena turned out to be the real deal. However, not many expected him to pin the franchise player on his last PLE match. While Dominic ended up stealing the spotlight from Cena, it perfectly enhanced his character and elevated his position in the company, making the company ready for the future. Number 2. The worst. Yet another loss for Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella suffering another major loss felt like one of the night's low points. Her recent heel turn carried strong potential, with fans around the world expecting that this would be the storyline to make her return to the company meaningful. However, WWE chose to stick to the current situation and made Stephanie Vaquer retain her Women's World Championship, handing another big loss to Bella. However, the biggest question is, how long will Bella stay if all she is getting is a loss? WWE needs to capitalize on the opportunity and use the Hall of Famer in the best way possible, which they seemingly failed to do at Survivor Series. Number 3. The best. Liv Morgan is back. Liv Morgan's return was easily one of the standout moments of the entire show. Her unexpected arrival during the Intercontinental title match instantly electrified the crowd and shifted the spotlight. Not only that, but her tease of betraying Dominic turned out to be one of the best moments of the night, enhancing her character work and her position in the women's division. With Morgan back into the mix, the company could now deliver some new storylines, something fans have been craving for. Number 4. The worst. No betrayals in the men's Wargames match. The WWE Universe stuck to the men's Wargames match, expecting at least one major heel turn, especially with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teaming under uneasy tension. While fans expected some surprising turns, the match ended without any internal betrayals, leaving many feeling a massive opportunity was missed. While the match turned out to be phenomenal, the lack of any heel turn left millions around the world disappointed. While WWE teases tensions between Reigns and Rhodes following Wargames, a betrayal could have been a much better moment to cherish. Number 5. The best. Team Vision won thanks to Mystery Man. The biggest talking point of the night came from the Vision's victory in men's Wargames, assisted by a masked mystery attacker. The reveal injected instant intrigue into the faction and the entire main event scene, leaving fans wondering if the man who stomped CM Punk was Seth Rollins or just an imposter. The unexpected interference gave Bron Breaker's squad a massive statement win and set up new layers of storytelling heading into the new year. Considering the investment WWE has made in the Vision, a victory was expected from the faction, and the company took the right decision by putting the win on them. Time will now tell what WWE has in store for the Stars next. Why Liv Morgan returned. WWE superstar Liv Morgan made a surprising return at Survivor Series Wargames. The Miracle Kid had been out of action since June 2025 when she accidentally dislocated her shoulder during a match with Kairi Sane on Raw. She had undergone surgery for the same and was expected to return by WrestleMania next year. However, the former Women's World Champion shockingly returned during her boyfriend Dominic Mysterio's match against John Cena. At first, it appeared that Morgan had turned her face when she punched Dom in the face. She went and hugged John Cena, and it seemed that we finally have a babyface, Liv Morgan. However, Morgan swerved and gave a low blow kick to Cena, allowing Dominic to capitalize and pull a 619. Morgan then hit Cena with the title belt, while Dom went for a dive from the top of the turnbuckle and pinned Cena to win back his IC title. The game was over for John Cena. Liv Morgan had pulled a ruse similar to what Seth Rollins had done at SummerSlam earlier this year. Let's look at reasons why WWE booked Morgan to return at Survivor Series Wargames when she was expected to return by next year. According to the reports, the 31-year-old superstar beat the expectations on her recovery. She was seen at the WWE Performance Center before Survivor Series, and since then, there have been rumors of her return. Moreover, she had recently filmed a visual for WrestleMania 42, along with other women superstars of the company. Right after her return, WWE broadcast that segment, with Morgan sharing space with Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and other women superstars. Her quick recovery during her rehabilitation seems to have made the creative team change the plans and book her for a return at Survivor Series Wargames. Liv Morgan also returned to back Dom as he was being ignored by his Judgment Day members of late. Dominic was incensed with Finn Balor and JD McDonough when neither of them showed up to help him retain his Intercontinental Championship against John Cena on Raw. a few days back. However, the whole Judgment Day turned up tonight in San Diego to assist Dom in beating Cena. When the rest of the Judgment Day members failed to outsmart John Cena, Liv Morgan showed up and conned the champ. It will be now interesting to see how she mixes with other members of the team, especially with Roxanne Perez. Liv Morgan might have also booked for a return at Survivor Series because of John Cena. In an interview on Complex in 2022, the Miracle Kid admitted that Cena was her childhood crush, and she even copied his style back then. "I love John Cena. I thought he was the sheish. I had such a crush on him. He would pump his little sneakers and I'd pump my sneakers, and I didn't even have pumps. I would just pretend to push my little pumps while watching him on TV. I thought he was amazing," she said. Since this was John Cena's second to last appearance in WWE, Morgan might have requested the company to give her a segment with the 17-time WWE champion. It now remains to be seen if Cena will try to take revenge on Morgan and Dominic on Raw, or if he will move on to his last match in WWE on December 13th, 2025 at Saturday night's main event, SNME. Bad news for Jey Uso following his SmackDown win. Despite earning a hard-fought win on SmackDown last Friday, there's some bad news for Jey Uso. Main event. Jey defeated Rusev in the quarterfinals of the Last Time Is Now tournament. After beating The Miz in the first round of the Last Time Is Now tournament, Jey faced off against Rusev this past Friday on SmackDown. The Bulgarian Brute was in control for the majority of the match, but the former World Heavyweight Champion dug deep to get the victory and book his ticket to the semifinals. Jey Uso will battle against LA Knight as part of the semifinals. The winner of that match is going to face either Gunther or Solo Sikoa in the final. However, there's some bad news for the Yeet Master in WWE. According to multiple outlets, the Jey vs. Rusev match highlights on YouTube have around 44,000 dislikes and counting. There are only 8,600 likes as of this writing, and almost all of the comments were disdain about the result. While there is a growing dislike for Jey Uso on social media, the live audience says otherwise. Fans in every arena are still yeeting when his music hits, including at Survivor Series Wargames. He even yeeted atop the cage during the men's Wargames match, and people in attendance were bouncing to his music. There's no denying that it will be hard for some people to distinguish twins like Jimmy and Jey Uso, but with the way they have changed their attire and looks over the past 2 years, Jimmy Uso still gets mistaken for his more popular brother almost every day. I love what I'm doing. But every time I see brother come out, there is another level. There is a certain superstardom that he's reached. I go around the world, it used to be, "Yo, what's up, Usi? You the Usos." I told Jay this. Now, I go around the world now. People call me you. I'm grateful for it, bro. I loved it. It's bittersweet too, Jimmy said on the Cheap Heat podcast. Jimmy isn't losing sleep over it, and he's hopeful to have the opportunity to be on the same level as his twin brother as a single star. The WWE pushed into a corner after John Cena's Survivor Series loss. Veteran wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer recently spoke about John Cena's match at Survivor Series. The encounter marked Cena's last PLE match in WWE. It was a run-in galore on Survivor Series as the Cenation leader defended the Intercontinental Championship against Dominic Mysterio. First, the referee ejected Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez for their interference. Later, Finn Balor and JD McDonough also tried to interfere but were neutralized by Cena. However, Liv Morgan proved to be the difference maker as she kicked the star below the belt. On a recent episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer felt Cena needed to win his last match. He felt Gunther would be the 17-time world champion's last opponent. The journalist explained that it would tarnish the legend's legacy if he lost his last 2 matches in a row. He felt WWE could easily switch the star's last opponent if they didn't want the ring general to lose. I think now, John has to beat Gunther, because he should not go out losing 2 in a row. If he lost here, then he's really, I don't know what's going to happen in that match, but to me, if John was going to lose here, he should beat Gunther, if it is Gunther. They can always switch. I mean, they haven't shown much of an inclination to do that, but they always can. During the Survivor Series post-show, Triple H revealed that he spoke with John Cena after the match. The chief content officer was in awe of the performances Cena has put on during this retirement tour. Hunter said that it was an absolute honor to watch the GOAT in action. He felt Cena put on an incredible performance on his final PLE. I said it when he walked back in the gorilla position when the night was over. It was an honor to watch that. It really was. John is just knocking it out of the park, and now we're down to 1. There is just 1 left. John Cena will now close out his in-ring career with 1 final match on Saturday night's main event scheduled for December 13th. Bron Breakker's huge injury scare. Bron Breakker was the superstar who scored the winning pinfall at Survivor Series, Wargames in the main event, but mid-match, he suffered an injury scare that threatened to derail things. Bron Breakker had a freak moment at Survivor Series, Wargames 2025, when he was hit with an electric chair, a wrestling move, not an actual electric chair, and suffered an injury scare in the process. Breakker was the first to enter for Team Vision, going up against CM Punk in the opening moments of the match. Momentum was on his side, but things quickly changed when the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, got into the mix. While there was a big moment of miscommunication at first as Rhodes hit the elbow on his teammate CM Punk, they quickly got together to work as a unified force. One moment saw the two team up to hit the electric chair on Bron Breakker. It was clear he landed on his neck, and what wasn't shown was the trainers checking on Breakker. Thankfully, he was fine and would go on to complete the match, pinning World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. The pinfall Breakker got over CM Punk came as a direct result of interference by a mystery attacker whose identity was never revealed. With Breakker now having a pinfall over Punk, this likely sets him as the next challenger challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. Virtually everybody expects Breakker to become a future world champion and for it to happen sooner rather than later. It'll be interesting to see what the aftermath of this Wargames match will be, as Brock Lesnar didn't play as big a role as many might have expected. With that said, it's great news that Breakker is okay, because neck injuries can seriously derail careers. Triple H confirms claims of backstage politics and lobbying before Wargames. WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H spoke about some of the creative differences in the men's Wargames match. The encounter was the main event of Survivor Series this year. It was a star-studded affair at Survivor Series as the team of CM Punk, the Usos, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns faced off against Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. The match had its fair share of high spots, with the heels finally getting the win with some help from a hooded figure. The Game showed up at the Survivor Series post-show and spoke in detail about the events of the night. He mentioned that when so many major stars are in a match, everybody wants to get in their say. The Game revealed that there was a lot of lobbying and backstage politics before the Wargames match. He noted that the situation before the match was tense and everyone could feel the high stakes involved. When you have Brock Lesnar, who does not team well with others, when you have Roman Reigns, and you have Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and CM Punk, and Logan Paul, all these people that are in there putting things out at another level, and you see that competitive nature, the lobbying, the politics, the backstage tension tonight, you can cut it with a knife. It was epic. You saw that in people's performances. During the Wargames match, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes managed to neutralize the threat of Brock Lesnar as they hit him with a GTS followed by a crossroads. However, during the final stages of the encounter, a hooded man showed up and attacked CM Punk. He hit a vicious stomp on the World Heavyweight Champion before climbing out of the cage. This allowed Bron Breakker to pin the champ and claim the victory for his team. It will be interesting to see if more details on the Masked Man are revealed on Raw this week. Roman Reigns' future plans revealed. WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H recently spoke about possible future plans for Roman Reigns. The star was at this year's Survivor Series, Wargames. The OTC was the final entrant in the men's Wargames match. He started a brawl with Lesnar outside the cage. However, his presence could not ensure a win for his team. A masked figure showed up and attacked CM Punk, allowing Bron Breakker to pick up the win. During the Survivor Series post-show, Triple H mentioned that Roman was a major star and didn't need to follow the usual route to get a title shot. He questioned whether someone at Reigns' level even needed to win the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, or if he could choose his moment. The Game added that WWE will make that call soon. However, he suggested that, based on the events of Survivor Series, it was clear that Roman was possibly heading toward a collision course with either Cody Rhodes or CM Punk at WrestleMania. The thing is, when you have a star the size of Roman Reigns, when you talk about him, he transcends the world title, he transcends the Royal Rumble, he transcends the Elimination Chamber. Does he really need to qualify, or does he just call his shot? That's a decision we here in the WWE need to make very shortly, but I have a feeling that one of those two guys, CM Punk or Cody Rhodes, is on a collision course with Roman Reigns. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes. After the match, Roman told Cody and Punk that this was the last time he teamed up with them. It will be interesting to see when the OTC returns to WWE. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar caused sudden audio malfunction. The final WWE Premium Live event of the year, Survivor Series 2025, has ended with a bang. The main event was the men's Wargames bout between Team CM Punk and Team Vision. Brock Lesnar was the penultimate name to enter the Wargames bout, and he absolutely destroyed the opposition team, stepping outside the cage waiting for the final member, Roman Reigns, to enter. Given the bitter history these two share, the Beast Incarnate and the original Tribal Chief lunged at each other, making it clear that the bad blood between them will not end anytime soon. At ringside, Lesnar picked up the momentum, and as he F5'd Brock on the Spanish announcing team, the audio malfunctioned, with Spanish commentators overlapping the English team. However, the company fixed the glitch immediately. Austin Theory's Wargames return leaked. WWE Survivor Series. Wargames ended on a terrible note for World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. The best in the world had all the reasons to win the second consecutive Wargames match against a heel side. Everything was going as per the plan for Punk until a tragedy occurred with him. A mysterious creature with a mask on his face climbed to the top of the cage and jumped inside the ring, only to give a curb stomp to CM Punk. He escaped the ring after pinning Punk down, which allowed Bron Breakker to hit Punk with a devastating spear and pin him to win the match. For CM Punk, the biggest question was, who was that person? Even though the mysterious man had mimicked Seth Rollins' move, it was clear that it was not Rollins, as the Visionary is out of action due to a shoulder injury. And as per the indications, we think that it was none other than Austin Theory. The former United States champion has been out of action since July, and there are several reasons to back the claim that it was he behind that mask. It was reported that WWE had plans to add Austin Theory as the fourth member of the Vision. However, Seth Rollins' untimely shoulder injury seemingly put a halt to all those plans. It was anticipated that Theory and Brock Lesnar would be part of the heel side before Survivor Series. Maybe the creative team might unveil Austin Theory's face on this week's episode of Raw, and his appearance on Survivor Series as a mysterious person might have been done to only add layers of excitement among the fans. Another reason why the mysterious man was Austin Theory is that he has a history with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Every WWE fan remembers Elimination Chamber 2022, when Lesnar threw Theory from the top of the pod. Theory later admitted that he was also terrified of taking that bump, but did so only because former WWE chairman Vince McMahon had asked him to do so. As for Paul Heyman, the wise man had words of wisdom for Theory when the latter was the Money in the Bank contract winner. Theory had teased cashing it on Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2022. However, Paul Heyman, having sensed Theory's intentions, had asked him not to do so. Instead, Heyman had asked Theory to let the better sense prevail and asked him to work with him so that he could set up a scheduled match with Roman Reigns at some big WWE PLE. Theory didn't listen to Heyman, and he did attempt to cash in at SummerSlam, but couldn't do so as Lesnar gave him an F5. Later, he attempted a failed cash-in on Seth Rollins and failed to win the title as Bobby Lashley spoiled the party for him. Those were the days when Theory was considered the future of WWE, and he was seen with the main event superstars. Maybe he will now realize his mistake and start working with Paul Heyman to once again brighten his prospects in WWE. Another sign that Austin Theory is the mysterious man because he is the only superstar who vanished from the scene without a trace. He wasn't seen getting injured in a match, and there was no update on him being out of action for some personal reason. The last time Theory was seen in the main roster was in May 2025 in a match against Sheamus, where he was defeated by the Celtic Warrior within 10 minutes. After that, he wasn't seen competing in the matches on the main roster. There were teases of his feud with his tag team partner, Grayson Waller, but that storyline never took off. Instead, in July, Theory was benched, saying that he was injured, and Grayson Waller aligned himself with the New Day. There were already rumors of his return at Survivor Series, and this is another sign that he was indeed the man behind that mask. Paul Heyman has always held Austin Theory in high regard. Heyman once introduced Theory at the Evolve 131 show, giving him the same kind of introduction which he has given to Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar. This was way before the 28-year-old superstar had signed with WWE. This led many to believe that the Oracle had a vision for Theory and the company. Theory signed with the Stamford-based promotion in 2019, starting with the WWE NXT, and then making his main roster debut in 2021. It remains to be seen if he will be unveiled as the next member of the Vision under the